Hey, it's you guys that I know. You guys, you know who you are. You know me. You should, or you don't. You don't. Well, whatever. You will. Welcome back, Knights. It's Battle Beast, and I have episode 2 of Beginner's Guide, Carbon Knight style. What I've done, since we talked about runes in episode 1, and if you didn't catch episode 1, click here, or maybe here, or somewhere. I will put an annotation, a link to episode 1 where you can learn more about runes. But this video, episode 2, is going to focus on how to rune your first monster that you get, the Fire Hellhound, who becomes Sieq. And let's do some cool things quick, though. Let's do my daily wish on Knight Carbon account that's I'm building to help with tutorials and stuff. Let's see. Anything good? Looks like 5,000 mana crystal, the most common win. Oh well, that's okay. The other cool thing we'll do, just part of the video bonuses here, exclusive summon list. She was awesome. You want that Water Pioneer. I'm going to do my first crystal summon. Now you can wait as a new player for the premium packs, but I just wanted to do one real quick for the video, see what we get. Oh man, Megan, the Water Mystic Witch. She is awesome for arena, especially with new players. Her third skill when you awaken her buffs your attack and your defense for your whole party. It's a super good monster. I'm really happy I got her so early on. Anyways, so I digress. We are talking about the Fire Hellhound, guys, and I'm going to show you guys possible ways early players can rune him and how successful he can kind of be. So, I really haven't got that far in the game. I'm only level 8 on this new account. And let's take a look at him. So, maybe we'll see the info first. You can see that his HP is a little buffed. His attack is almost doubled. And defense buffed over 100 a little bit. And a little extra speed. I'd like to have a bit more, but his speed at 109 is good. Consider 100. Just consider 100 being average. Some monsters have more, some monsters have less. But if you use 100 as an average when you're looking at their base stats speed, you'll see that 109 is pretty good. So you'll get away with it early on without any speed. So how I've runed him, guys, is Fatal Blade. Now we talked about, so here's our Fatal runes. We talked about how in episode 1 you can take your monsters and it shows here what type they are, whether they're HP or support. This one's an attack monster, and a good strategy for most monsters is to take what type they are and to make them way better at that. So what I've done is I've put Fatal runes on this guy. One moment. No. There we go. What we've done is Fatal runes. And what do Fatal runes do? Well, if you put 4 of them on your monster, you get an attack buff of 35%. Now, I want to show you guys quick that I have got, this is my best rune for him because the substat I got on this when it's a 3-star rune was already attack. So I upped it to only level 6 out of a possible level 15. And this rune is only a 2-star rune, attack percent on slot 2, with speed as a substat or secondary, and a little more flat attack. Defense, which is always going to be on slot 3, and some crit damage, which was just a nice bonus, only level 3 rune. This one's a level 4, I must have clicked it one more time by accident, but it's an attack percent rune on slot 4. And slot 5, always HP flat stat, a little extra attack, some HP percent, always useful. And the last rune, again, 2-star rune, only level 3 with attack percent, and awesomely I got an extra speed point on there. So this, for an early monster, and I'm level 8, this is a good set of runes. And really, he's already hitting for over 1,000 damage without a defense break on the enemy, and if he does get a defense break from one of your other monsters, like the Wind Vagabond here, where you see his first skill decreases the target's defense for 2 turns with a 40% chance. Well, that's awesome. So if he's successful with that defense break, and you'll notice it's a square with a white shield and a crack through it, that means defense break debuff, and it's bad on you, good on your enemies. If Sieq hits him with his second attack, double attack, it is super powerful, and this guy only has minimally upgraded runes. And again, like, it was affordable, you go to +3, you can't fail with those runes, and it's a great build. Let's do a quick battle with him. Now, keep in mind, I'm only level 8. I've just started. Let's not buy any of this stuff. And I'm already on the hard for the first level. I haven't quite completed it. I think I have one more level, and then I can probably beat the boss. But Sieq's a fire monster, and I want to show him. So let's go to this level on hard. And we'll bring our base team. Now, I didn't talk about the light Garuda, but you can get him. These are your first 3 monsters. The light Garuda you get when you beat your first NPC opponent in the arena, and that comes up pretty quickly in the game. You might have already got it if you just started yesterday. Like, it took me less than a day to do it. So let's go ahead and start this battle. Now, I should have picked the water fairy as our leader, because the other leader skill doesn't apply here, so that was my mistake, but I still think we'll be okay. So right off the back, just normal attack on this guy, 912 damage, level 16 with very brand new low level runes, only minimally upgraded, and I'm going to try to get a defense break. I didn't get it, but let's use his double attack. It should kill this monster. Look. 1,100 damage, 1,100 damage, 2,200 damage with a single hit on hard mode as a brand new player. This is how you should ruin... well, it's not the only way, but it's a great way to ruin your Sieq at the start. So I'm going to use Research to fill his attack bar. That's the skill on your light Garuda that you get. Let's kill this guy. One less enemy. Can we get a defense break? No, we can't. A little accuracy on the Wind Vagabond would help with those success rates of debuffs, but it's too early in the game, and I'm not willing to put accuracy runes on my low-level monsters. It's just not it's not the best right now. Later on, you can worry about things like that. Okay, so let's do double attack to kill one of the enemies right away. And we don't need to heal anybody, so we'll just hit the other weakest enemy. We'll resurge to get another attack out of the Fire Hellhound. He hits for almost 1,000 again. We'll hit him. No defense break. We'll finish that enemy off. We'll hit him. We'll hit him because resurge is not ready. We'll try to get a defense break. Still no defense break. Double attack. Did 1,600 damage there if you added it up. And victory with just the 4 monsters that they give you right at the start of the game. And you saw his runes were nothing special. So we'll go over that one more time quick on his runes, and I will then show you another way later in the game that's not a bad idea, because there's a lot of ways to rune Sieq, the Fire Hellhound. So again, fatal runes, you need 4 of them to get the buff, and it says so right here that you need 4 in a set to get the attack plus 35% buff, and that will be 35% of your base attack stat, not cumulative. It won't stack on top of itself. So and then just because fatal and energy are the only 2 runes I'm getting right now, and energy is, like I've covered, never the wrong answer, I went with the fatal energy combo. So I got the 2 set bonus of 15% hit points of my 1,515 base hit points, and these base stats increase as his level goes up. So that's how we've done it. And again, it's always flat attack stat here. I went for attack percent because that's an attack monster on my substats. I went for attack percent on slot 2. I will get always defense flat stat on 3. Crit damage was just a nice bonus. Attack plus 6 again. Now later, when you awaken Sieq and his 3rd skill buffs your attack power and your crit rate for you, that's what that will do. You would maybe put crit damage percent on slot 4. And remember, slot 4 is the only slot you can get crit damage percent for. So keep your eyes out for them in the magic shop and stuff like that. Again, probably don't buy 2-star, 1-star runes from the magic shop. Even, 3-star, but you can farm these runes, so save your mana if you can. But sometimes you see a really good one, you've got the mana to pay for it, why not? Slot 5, always going to be HP flat stat. I just plus 3'd it or I didn't even plus 3 this one, I'm going to plus 3 this one. And then when I do, this HP will, let's do it right now, I'll show you. The HP, the first substat, or the only substat on this rune, when I get it to level 3, is going to increase by a random jump. It'll probably become +4 or +5. If you have a blue rune, or a rare rune, sometimes there'll be 2 substats already, and when you go to +3, it will just pick one randomly. There, I got it. I already did it to +4 by accident, like the other one, but it doubled that HP bonus, right? So we've got a little extra here, and those are good substats to have, because the more you level up the monster, the more you get out of those substat percent runes, or percents in general. Okay, so that's it. The only thing I'm going to cover now is, so what did I, in the first video I covered, other ways, or maybe I didn't in that one, but if you want to see other players' reviews of a certain monster, come up to the info tab, and there will be this community button here. Click on community, and you've got these users who've typed in their reviews on the monster, and you can see, you know, what they say about him, how you could rune him. This guy says here, Fatal Blade. I have Fatal Energy because I don't get Blade runes yet, but Blade runes are good. 2, 4, 6, they mean slots 2, slots 4, and slots 6 for your runes. Attack percent. And then it shows late game Swift Energy runes with a different build. And we could probably find one of those if we go down. Oh, also, so on the left side, what I'm doing is I'm looking, you can see these are the usernames that have left reviews, and if anybody has a underline, you can click on their name, and you can see the runes and how they've built their monster, which is very useful. A lot of people, like, these are low-level players, maybe not the best guys to check out, but maybe this guy level 31 will show you a different build. This is what I wanted to show you. So I have Fatal Energy, and soon it'll probably be Fatal Blade runes, and Blade runes increase your critical rate chance. And so this guy has a later version of Sieq. Once you awaken him and the game changes and you need different things, speed becomes more important for him. And you can see here, obviously he's got, mine had 109 plus like 3. His has 110 base plus 49, lots more. And that's because you get these Swift runes in about level 6 of the scenario, I think. And if you have a 4 set of those, your speed increases by 25%. So if you have that average base speed of 100 like we talked about, it will become 125. It'll say plus 25 just on if you add the set of 4 Swift runes, right? And so you can see that this guy still stays with attack percent on 4, and attack percent. Great rune for him being only level 31. 6-star rune, attack percent. It was a vanilla rune. Anyways, that's not important. But yeah, he's got good substats there for speed, for being such a low-level player. More speed here. This crit damage is nice. This rune later in the game too, remember, this slot 4 can become a crit damage percent. And this really is a good build. This Sieq would be very successful. You can also see here that this 7 and 5 and 3 is the skill level of the monster. So here's the skill tab, and you can see I've only got 1 and 1 because I have not fed any Hellhounds or Devilmon to the monster. Now, when you put it up in the power-up circle, yeah, the power-up circle here, so what it would mean is I put Hellhound in the main slot, and you can feed monsters to him. This is what you might see in the chat, people calling food. And you just power them up, and technically this mimic here, water mimic, is going to be food. And it increases his experience. It levels him up a little bit, and you can feed up to 5 at a time. There, and he leveled up to level 17. So, what I'm talking about with skills now is I showed you... Oops. I showed you these numbers. Now, I used a water mimic. If you used another Hellhound, another Fire Hellhound, or a Water Hellhound, or a Wind Hellhound, and you fed it to him, it would increase his skill by 1 per Hellhound that you feed to him. And I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about. So, we have the Light Garuda, and he has the same, like, all the monsters have skill levels, right? And actually, I'll show them to you quick, so we see everything. skills is what I'm looking for. So he's got these 2 skills awakened, or open. When we awaken him, we'll get our 3rd skill, which is a recovery skill. Brings a monster back from the dead to fight again. But what this guy does is, with his skills, so he's got just level 1 here, so no upgrades, and level 2, because I already fed this guy another Garuda, and we're going to do that right now. So you guys can see it. So we had level 1 and level 2. What we're going to do is, whoops, wrong pad. We put the monster we want to upgrade the skill, and we grab another Garuda. This is a wind Garuda that I got from the summoning circle from an unknown scroll. We hit the power up. The monster will disappear. You click yes, and it levels him up a little bit. And because they're both Garuda monsters, doesn't matter if they're the same type or not. One's a light and the other one's a wind. And we get a skill, first skill up to level 2. So that's awesome, and that's what would happen with all monsters. This is a warbear. If I don't want to do that. If I fed a warbear, like fire warbear, to my wind warbear, his skills go up. And side note, if you get a wind warbear, hang on to him. You will love him as soon as you can get the proper runes on him. He's one of the best monsters you can get as a new player. I was super excited when I got him, one of my first scrolls. Anything cool from the store? Oh, I already looked at all these. Anyways, so we go back and look at our light Garuda now, and now we have level 2 skills, and the damage increased by 5% every time we hit. And you see how he does a stun of 24%? Next time I get this and it becomes level 3, his stun will now add 5% to that and do 29% chance to stun, and then another 5%. And then 34% chance, then 44% chance to stun, then 64% chance to stun just from his main hit. So it's really important, guys, to pick the one you like the best, or you could ask in chat once you reach level 8. Hellhound, fire, wind, or water, which is food? And people are pretty good about it. And, you know, try to win with your favorites, but there are certain monsters that are just inherently better than the other element types. But yeah, so that's the Fire Hellhound, guys. How is a good way to rune him right at the start. You don't have to get super awesome runes. Like, look what I've done with his attack. He leveled up there, but it was almost double, and he's doing over 1,000 damage, over 2,000 in some cases. And I never even got to show you that defense break with the Wind Vagabond, which makes it even more. It would have been doing closer to 3,000 damage if I had a defense break and I used my second attack, my more powerful one. So yeah, it's not hard to get these monsters runed properly. You have to do a little farming, play the level, replay it a few times till you get that rune that you want that's suited for the Fire Hellhound. And don't throw the other ones away, because in episode 3 and 4 we'll go over the Water Fairy, your second monster, and the Wind Vagabond, your third monster. And I think I have this guy already runed too. Yeah. All energy, but no spoilers. That'll be episode 4. Stay tuned for that, guys. Please leave a like, subscribe for more, comment. Any questions are more than welcome, and we will see you next time. Vampire runes in slot 2, guys. He has an attack flat stat rune, and here is an attack percent rune. Now, I'll be straight honest with you. The attack flat stat attack rune on slot 2 is a bad idea. I just have it on here because I haven't